Hey guys, welcome to Project Todd. Today we're going to be installing a rear sway bar on my Mark 7.5 GTI, and we're doing brand new endbar links, so that's exciting. After I got my car tuned, I asked them, like, what's the next thing I should be doing? And they're like, you should probably get a rear sway bar. It's going to make it stiffer. I'm also going through the canyons every day to work, so having a little stiffer suspension going around the turns is going to feel a lot better. Feel more like a race car, and that's what I'm trying to go for. So I went to the tuner, asked them how much it'd be, and they're like, it's going to be around $600 with the install, with brand new endbar links, which they suggest because if you reuse the factory ones, they're plastic. I hear they tend to break, but maybe they're just trying to sell me $200 endbar links. Not quite sure. So anyway, I went over to the Facebook group, SoCal MK7, to ask the guys what do they suggest for cheaper endbar links that aren't going to be $200. And they suggested these Moog endbar links. They were like $31 a piece. They're made of steel. They look great. So hopefully this is going to do the job. Also got the APR Rear Sway Bar for 10% off on Black Friday. So really pumped about that. This whole thing is going to set me back about $300. So I'm saving $300 from taking it to the dealer and having them install it. So stay tuned. Let's get this job done. All right. First step, crawl under the car. We're going to take these endbar bolts off. Going to use a crusher wrench and a 13mm ratchet. Buzz this baby off.
See this?
Second step, we're going to remove these clamps. There's two on each side of the sway bar. Unfortunately, they use triple squares, which must be like a German Volkswagen thing. I went all around town trying to find a triple square bit, couldn't find any. Got back to the car, it was already jacked up, and I decided to see if these torque bits would fit and spin them, and they do. I was able to tighten them, and it didn't strip the bolt at all. So I'd say you could use either, but if you want to be professional about it, go out there on Amazon and order the triple squares. So there's one on each side of the car, and that's 4 bolts in total. Of course, it's not that easy. It's actually 8 bolts together. Found it the hard way. You also have to unbolt your muffler, drop it like 3 or 4 inches. That's where the bolt is. There's one on the other side, and then you can slide the sway bar out.
Here it comes. Alright. There we go. Hold on to that.
Yes, finally getting this thing out of here. Man, it took a long time for me to actually figure this out. Me and my buddy probably spent 20 minutes trying to figure out that you gotta actually drop the muffler. Made it way easier.
Fuck yeah!
So this thing's off. We got our plastic endbar links here. You can tell that this is a lot lighter and it's a lot thinner than the new sway bar. We got the new endbar links already on. So you gotta tighten them up, throw some grease on it. And then we gotta transfer these over to that sway bar.
APR included new plastic bushings, so we're going to install those, one on each side on the outside of the metal ring. I'd recommend putting this thing in a vise or get a friend to help you.
Alright. Cool.
Now we're going to move over the clamps from the old sway bar to the new sway bar. Just a reminder to make sure you install your sway bar the same way you took your old sway bar off.
Alright guys, these went on really easy. It came with lube, but we didn't need it. At least that's what I thought the lube was for. Maybe it's just a little extra for after.
Just tighten these endbar links up before I put them on the car.
Okay, I just want to let you know I did use a 15mm socket to install the new Moog endbar links. So now we're just going to throw a little grease on here, and then we'll be able to bolt it right up. So, on to the next step.
Alright, grease this sucker up until a little bit starts to leak out. Lining up the sway bar can be a bit challenging, but I did it. Next thing, we're going to bolt this muffler back up here. The hardest part about this install was getting in the hole, but use a straight screwdriver, was able to line it up real nice. Now we'll install these pain in the ass triple square bolts. Make sure on these to alternate your tightening. Then we'll do the same thing to the other side of the car. Only one thing left to do, tighten these endbar links, one on each side of the car, and then we can go test this baby out. Hit subscribe, guys, for part 2 my APR Sway Bar review. Until next time, I'm out of here. Cheers.